Today's movie's a special request from Patreon supporter Scott Raiger, who asked me to review the movie China Strike Force. And you know what? It's about time I got to a late 90s, 2000s martial arts action movie. They're kinda like regular martial arts movies, except they'll sometimes throw a rapper in there because, hey, why not? So, who's the rapper in this movie?
The Chinese are some shrewd and devious ass people. But you the best, baby!
Coolio, huh? This ought to be fun. China Strike Force is a 2000 Hong Kong action movie from director Stanley Tong, who also made the Jackie Chan movies Rumble in the Bronx and Super Cop. And he also directed the Leslie Nielsen Mr. Magoo movie, so I guess keep that in mind. Rumble in the Bronx and Super Cop were both hits in North America and helped establish Jackie Chan as a star there, and with China Strike Force, Tong made even more of an effort to appeal to the American market by filming the movie in both Mandarin and English, and using an international cast. So did the movie succeed in cracking the North American market? Not really. It didn't exactly do great business in America, and after its release, it mostly faded into obscurity. In fact, before getting the request to do this movie, I hadn't even heard of it, and I saw Jet Li's The One in the theater. But hey, just because a Hong Kong action movie isn't popular in America doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, the stunts will probably be good. The movie's brought to us by the CMC Magnetics Corporation, which I'm sure is totally a real film company and not one that made this movie for a tax rebate. Right away you can tell how badass the heroes of this movie are because they're out in the rain and they don't have umbrellas. They're also trying to rescue a guy being held hostage by some terrorists, which is giving me Carnosaur 3 flashbacks. China Strike Force, starring Coolio, because Cisco turned it down. I gotta give these terrorists props, they've got some style and eyewear. Unfortunately for them, all the guns in the world are no match for a couple guys with their own wirework team. Actually, our heroes do have guns of their own, but they are way less impressive than their moves. See? That was way more badass than just shooting him. However, they're so busy showing off that the hostage ends up getting shot. Oh man, we probably should have used our guns. No need to worry though, since it turns out this is all really part of a police training exercise, which makes this the second movie I've done in a row to begin with a fake hostage rescue. Was Roger Corman a producer on this movie too? Our heroes are Darren and Alex, and the chief does not seem too impressed with their performance.
You were brilliant, Alex. Great surveillance, teamwork, improvisation, but at the end, you lost your focus.
Considering he beat up several heavily armed terrorists with his bare hands, I think you might have a genuine super cop here. Or is being able to move like Spider-Man just expected of police officers in China? Now that the intro's over, we can get on with the opening credits. Although after that opening scene, I'm wondering if this car accident is really just a paramedics training exercise.
We need some medical supplies.
Sorry, we're empty.
Hop on a first aid kit. This guy has multiple fractures.
Well, then he's probably gonna need more than a band-aid. By the way, that's actor Mark Dacascos, who you may recognize from several other martial arts action movies. The question is, though, is he playing a good guy or a bad guy in this movie?
I thought you said it was empty.
I said, we don't have any medical supplies.
Well, that guy's gonna need a band-aid. Okay, looks like Mark's the villain, but just how bad is he?
No witnesses.
Well, he shut the baby up, so guess he's not that evil. While Mark prepares to go to his James Bond audition, he visits his Uncle Ma, a powerful Chinese crime boss who's in the business of doing crimey stuff? I don't know if they ever really say what he does. However, Mark has another business proposal for him.
A friend of mine from America is in town. He has merchandise to sell. Drugs are the richest commodity in the world, and China is an untapped market. We can make a fortune.
Think of it, with 1 billion extra stoners in the world, the martial arts movie business is gonna skyrocket. Mark's uncle rejects his proposal, which doesn't sit well with him. He really needs people to be on drugs to ensure Brotherhood of the Wolf becomes a hit. Oh well, time for a fashion show. In addition to acting in the movie, Coolio also contributed some songs to the soundtrack. Let's take a listen.
I like girls, I like girls, I like girls. Ooh, I like girls, I like girls, I like girls.
And those are the kind of lyrics only a Grammy Award-winning artist can bring you. Oh, and Alex's girlfriend is also at the fashion show. That way, not only can he be there when the next fight scene breaks out, but he can also meet her dad.
Sheriff Lynn. Hi, Alex. This is my partner, Darren.
Make no mistake, though, like the song says, I like girls. Ah, I see they're showing off the latest in umbrella lingerie. It really helps protect against golden showers. Plus, it goes with the soundtrack.
I like girls, I like girls, I like girls.
Alright, movie, you don't have to keep telling me you like girls. Mark's eyeline is making that abundantly clear. One benefit to being at a fashion show if you're a criminal, you can brazenly assassinate someone in front of a huge crowd and people will barely even notice.
Get an ambulance!
Oh my god, does anyone have a band-aid? Fun fact, in China, even nerdy-looking waiters are secretly martial arts masters. While Darren goes after the assassin, Alex notices the woman Ma was with stealing something. Good thing he likes girls and saw her stuffing something into her cleavage. Jeez, as if the smog in Shanghai wasn't bad enough, you also have to deal with traffic jams caused by random kung fu fights breaking out. Also, not only is Darren able to catch up to a speeding truck on foot, apparently he can also defy gravity. Gentlemen, please, if you're gonna fight on my tour bus, I'm gonna need exact change here. Well, good job, Darren. You just killed your suspect. Just kidding. It'll take a lot more than that to kill this guy.
No, come on!
Damn it! Alright, now wait for him to surface and then go after him. Meanwhile, Alex seems to have caught the woman he saw fleeing the assassination earlier. Her mistake was stopping for a wardrobe change. And I wasn't kidding about everyone in this movie being a super-powered martial arts master.
Come on, give me up!
Hang on, baby. I'll be back.
You know, if you can't think of any one-liners, just use ones from other movies. The chief is not happy Darren and Alex let their suspects get away.
I don't like my men ogling over nude women in lingerie.
If they're in lingerie, then they're not technically nude, sir.
Shut up!
Here's one thing you'll quickly notice about this movie. While the stunts and fight choreography are actually pretty good, the attempts at humor are another story.
I don't want you to discuss this with anyone. Not your family, not your girlfriend, not even your dog.
I don't have a dog.
You don't have a dog.
He doesn't have a dog. That's funny. Because he was sitting at the table with the woman Alex was chasing, they're told to investigate Mr. Ma, who by the looks of it is hiding out on the set of a Mortal Kombat movie. Time for these two to demonstrate some intense interrogation skills.
We wondered if you have any information about what...
No.
Okay, guess that settles that then. Thanks for your time, sir.
You just had your first lesson.
Yeah, you gotta look like Arnold Schwarzenegger to be a cop.
Only if you want to also teach kindergarten. Anyway, turns out Coolio is the friend Mark wanted his uncle to meet with about selling drugs in China. And if you're wondering what his character's name is...
Coolio.
He's literally called Coolio in this movie. So, wait a second, is Coolio supposed to be playing himself here? Like, is this movie implying that after Gangsta's Paradise became a hit, he decided to start selling drugs in China? Well, a lot of rappers do have side hustle, and selling drugs is a good way to make money. I mean, it beats the hell out of going on celebrity wife swap.
I couldn't get you in as a foreigner, so I said you were an ambassador from an African country, Zimbabwe.
Do I sound like I'm from Zimbabwe?
Don't worry, no one knows what you're saying anyway.
Oh hey, now they can do a reverse version of the "Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth" bit from Rush Hour. And if you thought that movie was racially insensitive...
Yeah, I might start peddling this idea to the Mexicans. And the Spics. And the Wops.
You know, I always thought that black people could only sing, dance, and play basketball. But you're pretty smart.
It doesn't have shit on this movie.
I always knew I loved China. I eat takeout twice a week, you know what I'm saying? Egg rolls, chow mein, chop suey, fortune cookies.
Okay, movie, I get it. You know what stereotypes are. The plan is for Coolio to transport the drugs to a shipping yard run by Ma, which will then be run through a pumping station. Joke's on him, though. No matter how much money he makes, he's still gonna have to be in Dracula 3000. And hey, looks like the waiter assassin from earlier survived his fall.
My bread.
Ah, you want bread? See a bacon.
And now he's dead. Probably for the best. Mark's new midlife crisis mobile just arrived. And I guess driving a Lamborghini is illegal in China since the cops immediately try to arrest him. You know what? If this means another action sequence, I'm not gonna ask too many questions. I think the real reason the cops are after him is they think Michael Bay is shooting another Transformers movie here. Well, his spine's broken. Just kidding, he's fine. The chief is still gonna yell at him for being a bad cop, though. I'm a little surprised Darren felt like he needed to steal a race car to go after Mark. Judging by the previous chase scene, he could catch up to him just by running. You know, if there's one thing you can't deny about Hong Kong action cinema, it's the willingness of the filmmakers to put the actors in a whole lot of danger for the sake of a good shot. On a related note, I really hope they blocked off the street for this part and these aren't all real innocent bystanders. Well, looks like Mark ended up getting away. This calls for a celebration. Yeah, this Chinese bud's for you. And just because their suspects got away doesn't mean Darren and Alex can't go out for a romantic dinner together.
So when are you doing it?
Doing what?
When are you getting married?
Dude, he was gonna propose to you after dinner. Way to kill the romance. Before that, though, Alex tells Darren they found something suspicious at the shipyard.
We did find some old model Fords, though. Real junkers.
Ford? Why would anybody bother shipping junkers?
Oh, shots fired, Ford. And again, about the attempts at humor in this movie.
It's like this. It's always some fool-ass rookie cop who think he smells something, right? And you know what? They always say the same damn thing. I figured it out.
I figured it out.
Okay, after that sitcom gag, how long until we get a "he's standing right behind me, isn't he" joke in this movie? Darren goes to the shipyard to investigate the cars, and aha! I knew it! Aspartame! Don't they know that causes cancer? Maybe? You better tell Alex about this.
Hello. It's Einstein.
Hey.
Listen, man, you gotta stop calling me like this. My girlfriend's starting to get suspicious. Good work, boys. With all these drugs you've confiscated, the station's gonna have its best Chinese New Year's Eve party ever. Still, they are a little puzzled as to how they got there.
In all my 30 years, drugs have never been smuggled into Longchen. Ma has never allowed it.
Believe me, it's definitely not because I've never allowed it. I am a terrible police officer. Meanwhile, Coolio and Mark are busy showing the audience that Darren and Alex aren't the only homoerotic duo in this movie, and whatever happened to the girl Alex was chasing earlier?
No one touches me.
This is Japanese actress Norika Fujiwara playing a character called Norika. Okay, I felt a little bad referring to Mark Dacascos' character as just Mark throughout this video, but if everybody else is just gonna use their real names, why should he be any different?
Chance Records, listing everyone on Mara's payroll.
Joke's on them, there's just a copy of Leisure Suit Larry on there. While Mark immediately trusts her, Coolio is a little suspicious.
I know she not a cop. Matter of fact, how the hell you know that she ain't wearing a wire right now?
Well, I've heard worse excuses to have a striptease in a movie. Unfortunately for Coolio, his cigar seems to be suffering from erectile dysfunction. And of course she's not wearing a wire right now, they need those for the fight scenes. Oh right, they still gotta ask Ma if it's okay for them to start selling drugs in China. Hopefully he says yes. Coolio's anaconda skin suit ain't gonna pay for itself.
Do you garden? No, you know, to me flowers are like a beautiful woman, you know. They good to look at, for my personal pleasure, but they don't last long.
You sure you're not the one who doesn't last long? Ma says Coolio isn't allowed to sell drugs in China and tells him to go home. Coolio hasn't been this upset since Weird Al made Amish Paradise. With the old man standing in their way, Mark is left with no other choice. Oh shit, he killed him with a cutaway. He also frames Norika for Ma's death. Good thing the cop showed up immediately after she got his blood all over her. Time for Darren and Alex to use more of their amazing interrogation skills.
Just being close to you makes me feel so good all over.
That's the first honest thing you've said today.
Ah, I see they're using the good cop, horny cop method.
You! Button up your blouse.
Okay, thanks, random commenter on a girl's Twitch stream. They eventually figure out that Norik is actually a cop working with Japanese Interpol. Turns out China isn't the only place with superhero cops, and that's not the only secret they uncover.
One of our agents was murdered in California.
By Coolio?
That's it.
Oh, great. Looks like Coolio started a West Coast Far East beef. They plan to let Norik go so she can lead them to Coolio, but first, Darren's got to make sure she definitely isn't wearing a wire.
Getting better?
What the hell? I thought Alex was your one and only, you cheating bastard. Just kidding, it's really a dream sequence. I knew Darren would stay faithful. And it's been a while since we had a lame attempt at humor. So, this was directed by the same guy who made the Mr. Magoo movie, huh? Interesting. No time for that, though. The movie's got to show off some Chinese cultural landmarks, mainly so Coolio can scoot his ass all over him. Oh, and turns out Coolio and Mark framed Norika for Ma's murder to make sure they could trust her, so it's lucky for them that the cops let her go right away, and she doesn't seem to be that pissed about it. Man, Coolio's plan for getting drugs into China is even more deviously clever than I thought. The drugs are being hidden inside Gundam testicles.
Next week, I'm gonna go down to Brooks Brothers, get me one of them 3-piece suits, go to Switzerland and visit my money.
And if the drug deal doesn't go through, you can always just go on Celebrity Big Brother. Mark is gonna make so much money selling drugs in China, he was able to buy Coolio a new ride. And it even came pre-pimped.
Tony, you're a man of impeccable taste, dog.
Yeah, either that or he's secretly the Joker. While Mark gives Coolio some money to throw at the camera in his next music video, Darren and Alex track Norika to their location. And there's a shocking twist to this story, I guess.
Hold on. He's with us.
The sheriff. The sheriff, one of the bad guys.
Okay, sure. Oh, and this is also Alex's girlfriend's dad from earlier. Just thought I'd let you know that.
I'll need some money. I'm going away.
Whose word would people believe? A police officer who I can prove has been on Ma's payroll for the last 20 years? Or someone who's never even had a speeding ticket?
Bullshit, you've never had a speeding ticket. The sheriff reveals that Norik is really a cop, which only makes Coolio angry at him. He was really hoping to see her naked again. Okay, now that the cat's out of the bag, let's get this climactic action sequence started. Like I said, the fight scenes in this movie are actually pretty good. Even Coolio's stunt double has some impressive moves. Also, I don't know about Norika, but something tells me these two are definitely wearing wires. While Darren may be a capable fighter, I don't know if it was a good idea for him to wear his stripper clothes here. And don't you guys have guns? See, that guy's got the right idea. Listen, Alex, even though you got lucky with this guy, it's still not a good idea to bring a spear to a gunfight. Oh, you're dead meat now, Coolio. You just killed Darren's true love. Darren, tell my girlfriend I love you. While the villains try to escape, our heroes chase after him, and Coolio does not like people getting shoe prints on his new ride. He'd much rather put speed holes in it. And once again, for all of its flaws, I gotta admire the dedication of the stunt crew on this movie. Okay, everybody, for today's scene, you're gonna be fighting on top of a car that's being suspended in the air by a helicopter. There's gonna be some safety precautions here, right? I see this is your first Hong Kong action movie. Also, I think they might have actually destroyed some ancient Chinese buildings here. Oh, bye, Mark. Oh, and if anyone out there thinks this ending isn't over the top enough yet, don't worry. The movie will do you one better. I don't know what they're so worried about. Chinese construction workers have to do shit this dangerous all the time. Alright, as much as I joke, this is actually a pretty inventive fight scene. I have no idea how much was real and how much was faked, but I stand by my statement that when it comes to putting actors in danger for the sake of a good stunt, Hong Kong cinema is second to fucking none. And how in the hell is it taking 2 of you to defeat Coolio? I'm about to knock you out with one punch, baby. That's why they call me the one-hit wonder. At least I think that's why they call me that.
Dorica! Get down!
Yeah, I get to be the one who kills Coolio.
You can let me talk, guys! Look out! Come on, man! Help me!
As embarrassing as this is, it's still more dignified than having a cameo in Batman and Robin. Speaking of which, what about his Joker car? Visual representation of Coolio's career. Look, we used up our stunt budget for the movie. Let's just assume they made it down safely. Besides, the important thing is not only was Darren able to stop Coolio from selling drugs in China, but he and Norica are now in love. Boy, looks like you moved on from Alex pretty quick there.
Can you stay for a while?
Maybe yes, maybe no. It depends on what you do.
What would you like me to do?
I'm in the mood for love.
You want me to poop on your chest? Well, okay. Oh, and in case anyone thought I was kidding about how much danger the actors were put in, the end of the movie includes a blooper reel, and I'm convinced somebody got killed making this movie. Like I said at the beginning, China's Strike Force didn't exactly catch on in North America, and while there's definitely worse martial arts action flicks out there, there's also a lot better. The action sequences and stunts are good, and in some cases actually pretty inventive, but everything else surrounding them is a lot less good. In addition to the awkward attempts at humor, the plot is fairly forgettable, and the acting ranges from okay to, okay. It's no Drunken Master 2, but the fight scenes are good enough to make it worth a rental if you're a fan of Hong Kong action movies. Plus, this movie answers the important question of just what Coolio was doing in between filming Leprechaun in the Hood and Pterodactyl. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Look like you screwing with the wrong vampire, old man.